नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 3, text number 1. 1 to 7, we will go through it. Suta Goswami said, Suta said, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus at first there was creation of 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universe. So in this shloka, Adav means in the starting, in the beginning, how the creation, how the cosmology of the world, how it happened. So here it is stating not from impersonal way, in a personal way. Like they say there was an explosion. So there are two kind of theories they give. One is a Big Bang theory, as we know, there's an explosion. One more is they call it as a solid state theory or a steady state. So which means that the universe is a solid state universe that is constantly existing and regenerating itself. So like this there are different kinds of explanations they give. But anyway, in either of the case, they don't have any explanation. But we have some reasonable philosophy, theory. It is not just theory because it is coming from Vedas. It is descending process because for them it's only a theory. They also have not seen, although they claim to be saying that they are also repeating from previous research or science, but there is no real proof for it. But if you see any spiritual literatures, including Bible also it is said, let there be creation, sa ikshata, means God saw and there was creation. So by his glance, so we are not talking from some chunk it comes, we are saying that how God can create. And it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, how he is the Bija Pradapita, is a seed giving father. And in the Brahma Samhita, it is mentioned how Anadir Adir Govinda. Anadi means right from the starting. There is no beginning for him. And he is the beginning for everything. So here it is mentioned how 16 elements means, here it is mentioned the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. And then sense objects, senses, spirit, soul, in this way 16, and later how it expands to 24. Shodasha Kalam. So here it is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita, like how diseased person can emanate some bubbles out of his body, small particle, it can come out and virus can spread. Similarly, from Mahavishnu, from his skin holes, everything is coming out. Big universes are coming out. So, we have seen how the Lord personally enters into the universe and he actually makes even creation has to happen, means Brahma, we call him as a creator, but he is a secondary creator. One young boy was attending our Gita Value program. We asked him, how do you believe in God? So he said in his school they are teaching about Big Bang. Everything came from as a blast. So he told even for that, where were the chemicals? How the chemicals were existing? From where did it come? Where did the chemicals come from? So it's an intelligent question. How did chemicals come from? From where it is coming? So here we are seeing how that chemicals also, whatever are required for creation for Lord Brahma, they are created by the Lord earlier only as a primary creation. This is what in the first canto of Bhagavatam we see. In the material world, people we call them as dull brain, or your brain is filled with some cow dung, we say, if they are not intelligent. But people who are very, very intelligent, they are doing so much of material progress, but we see their brains are always filled, not with cow dung, we don't know what it is filled with. They only want to exploit the material world. What is this exploitation? Exploitation means we have some resources, we keep on using it until they are exhausted. Petroleum may get exhausted. Now our good, nice oxygen may get exhausted where we are running after oxygen cylinders. Oxygen was so easily available for everyone right now. We are creating diseases, oxygen. We are so difficult for oxygen for us to get. So we are manufacturing oxygen, industries, factories. And by whatever we get with that exploitation, we have to make us believe that we are very happy, like we see all over the world, especially in advanced countries. They have increased the number of vehicles, like now in India we also increased, and they are keeping on making bridges. What kind of bridges? They keep one flyway, one above, and below, underground. And again you manufacture a vehicle, and again you have to make this construction. Will keep on going perpetually, it will keep on going. So just like animals are working very, very hard, but it is not their mistake. They are born like that. But human beings, they don't have to work so much hard, and after creating flyovers and underground tunnels, you are constantly suffering. We are getting into a lot of difficulties, accidents. So this is how the whole world is going on, and it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Namam Dushrutino Muda. The Mudas are fools. They don't surrender. They don't understand what is Prakriti, what is nature, because they have no proper brain substance. They are called as Alpamedasaha. Sumedasa means when you have good brain substance. They are called Alpamedasa. Means even though they are very intelligent, superficially we will see that they are creating so many things, but finally they will create something by which they will destroy themselves. So what is the use of their creation? So in this material world we see that they are creating so many things, but there are so many side effects with that. If you take medicine, there is one side effect. If you eat food, from that there is chemical effect. You are reading literature to become happy. You are watching movies to become happy. After that there is again frustration. But the devotional service is so simple. The Krishna consciousness, we understand that God creates for our sake this creation. He has not made for himself. This is like a jail. Lord is complete. In the Vedas it is said Purnamadaha. He is complete. He doesn't require anything. Because he is complete, he wants us also to be with him. so that we will also be getting that complete happiness. Giving up the Lord, we cannot be happy. So the Lord cares for His creation, cares for His children, and He is inviting us, please come. Don't be suffering in this world. So there is one more question, Prabhupada, they are asking how this world, why God comes in different incarnations. Because this whole chapter, the third chapter of the first canto is about incarnations of the Lord. And in the 7th shloka, it is mentioned how the Supreme Lord of all sacrifices, He accepted the incarnation of a boar and He lifted the earth for the welfare of the earth. He lifted the earth. So this universe actually, it is filled up with water, and half of it is filled up with water only. So sometimes there are demons like Hiranyaksha. He threw that into the Garbhodaka ocean. So we also have how they say law of gravity. We say Sankarshana. It is lying on Shankarshana, his energy. It is lying on his hoods. So when we say God is great, Prabhupada says we don't know how much great He is. That the universes are coming out of Him. The universes are on top of Him. He is holding it. So we can think, how big is this ocean? Just like Dr. Frog philosophy, many times we have heard in our classes. Dr. Frog means it is like a story which is told about how a frog had come from ocean to a well, and it is talking to the other frog who is there in the well. That is also called Kupa Manduka Nyaya. There are Nyaya logics which are given in the Vedic literature to understand the reality. So in that it says how this frog in the well is comparing the ocean to his well. How big is the ocean? Is it 2 times? Is it 6 times or 10 times or 25 times? How big is the ocean? So we can never compare a ocean with the square feet of the well. It's impossible. So the present scientists or whoever are doing researchers, they always calculate according to their own brain substance. They don't want to accept what is being told by the authority of knowledge. So here when we speak of Lord Brahma, is not an imagination or imaginary character. Lord Brahma, He is like a president of this universe. Just like for every country there is a president, so there are presidents for this whole universes also, and He has a very big calculation of His length. His day, one day is so huge. So, and from Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, lot of universes are coming out from His pores, hair pores. Just like I told you how the gems of a patient, it comes out, like that it is coming. So He, the Lord is sleeping there, and sometimes these demons, they go and create disturbance, and they actually, the earth was thrown out of its axis and it fell into the Garbhodaka ocean. And it is said in Dashavatara Stotra, Shitiriha Vipulotare Tishtati Tava Prishte. So here, Dashana Shikare, he is sitting, the Dharani Tava Lagna Vasati. It is Vasati means it is resting. The Mother Earth, it is resting on his tusk. But what is he? Keshavadrita Shukara Rupa. Shukara Rupa means, Shukara is a boar. He is not a boar. Shukara Rupa, he has assumed the form of a boar incarnation. So it's easy to hold, just like when you remove some sand or dust. So we put some instrument to remove it. Similarly, it was easy for him to bring out the earth from the ocean. So you can, how big is he, where he is keeping the earth? So on his tusk. So the Lord has so many forms, and each incarnation has a purpose. Not like there are some incarnations, people say, I am an incarnation of God. And there are foolish people who believe that also. But here it is mentioned, any incarnation in the Bhagavatam, in the Puranas, they are meant for a purpose. So this boar incarnation, there was a purpose. What was his business? The Lord has a main business. What is it? Yada yada hi dharmasya. So he appears whenever there are any discrepancies, in a methodical way, not just like that. So what is that here they are saying? When does the Lord come? Indrari, Vyakulam Lokam. Indra means the heavenly God. Indrari means the enemy of the king of the heaven. So whenever there are enemies, because the devatas, they are meant to protect the humanly people, and they are supposed to be doing their sacrifices, and they get that share. So people who are God consciousness, even devatas, although they have lusty desires, but they are called Sakama Bhaktas. They have desires, but they are devotees, and they are taking care of the administrative roles in behalf of the Supreme Lord. When we say there is God, and in India, Hindu religion means there are many gods. They are administrative gods. Gods means you are also God, I am also God, means we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are not complete God. Similarly, the administrative gods means they are not complete God. They are part and parcel of God, but they are given more facilities. They are given more, just like the police officer, he has more power than a civilian to control the law. Similarly, the devatas, they have some power, and that is being blessed by their punya, by their pious activities. They have been given that, and the purpose is for protection. And they have to take care of administrative affairs. But there will be some demons who will come and create some other problem. Like we have seen, there are terrorists who will take some scientific formula and misuse it for bombing many people. So it should not be misused. So, but there are demons everywhere, and the followers of Dharma will be very less. The devotees are very small in number. So the Lord, He comes to protect the devotees and save them from danger. The Lord, He appeared as the boar incarnation or Lord Rama incarnation. The purpose is to save the devotees. Similarly, in Kali Yuga, the Lord has taken incarnation of a holy name. When we chant Krishna Nama Rupa Avatara, we chant the holy name of the Lord, and when we chant, there is no difference between how the Lord appeared thousands of years back and even now when we chant the Lord name Hari, Narayana, Krishna, it is not different. So, if we are not taking shelter of the Lord, then we have to be ready. Then any time that these demons in the form of human beings or in the form of advancement of science or for anything in the form of spirituality, so-called spirituality, they can put us into water, put us into trouble, put us into ocean. So we have to be careful, because when you are trying to be following a right path, Even your all so-called friends, relatives and admirers, they'll all suddenly become your enemies. Because when you speak truth, it is bitter. People will not like it. But we don't have to worry, because when you are in the path of righteousness, path of truth, path of dharma, you will only be successful sooner or later. So there were many instances where good people are attacked. That is the nature of this world. We see how people are attacked in this world for doing good also. Like we heard recently that how a person who was involved in giving some fruits and vegetables and grains, who had gone to give charity, there were some people who came and stopped him because they wanted to grab all that for them alone. Because he stopped them, because he wanted to give for many others, they stopped him. They told you, no, you should give it to me only. How can you give it to others? So, but we also face such kind of issues when we are doing distribution, relief work. We hear from our team workers how they get calls from powerful people from the society, and they say, you please send it to people whom I am saying. They order, you have to go and give here only. So our people try to manage, because they have to convince that we are going and giving in place whom they deserve. But for them, they want wherever they reserve. They have their own reservations for their votes or for their own purposes. But we have to face the difficulties. So this field worker also, we don't know who are they, but they had faced difficulties, that they grabbed with him whatever he had and they beat him up. Imagine, somebody is beating after getting favor from them. That is the nature of the world. Even in emergencies, we have seen how a mother, in spite of so much of difficulty, either in cyclones or in rainy season, she protects her child. We have heard about a news where mother in a cyclone, she was holding a child. Heavy rains were coming. The whole rain she was holding, that mother actually died, but she was holding the child so carefully that even after the rain stopped and everything, the child was alive. So that is a care, how a mother takes care, a father takes care. The kind of care how the Lord gives through his devotees, through his family. But a person, when they are taking up to a right path, everybody becomes their enemies. That's the nature of the world. We should not worry, because Narayana Paraha Sarve Na Kutaschana Bibhyati. Those who have taken shelter of the Lord, Na Bibhyati, they are not at all fearful of anything. Swarga Pavarga Narakeshu Api, means even either they are sent to the heavenly planets or hellish planet, it doesn't matter. We have to just chant the name of the Lord, Hari Narayana Krishna. So here it is mentioned how in every planet the Lord enters as an incarnation, and he incarnates for a purpose of saving his devotees, and there is a purpose. So we know how there are 7 planetary system at the upward side and the downward 7 planetary system. So this form Shukara Rupa, here the planet, Earth planet was thrown below. So there are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Patala in that planet. Below, he went to the Garbhodaka Samudra because it was thrown, and as Lord Varaha, he saved the Mother Earth. And Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya Pratijanehi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. The Lord is there to protect his devotees, and devotee means a pure devotee. We may say, I have become now devotee, why Lord is not protecting me? I went to the temple and prayed to him that please protect me, but still I am having problems, so there is no God. Devotee means pure devotee. Purity means there is force. There is force of truth. This force of purity means we are following all the principles purely, without any expectation. Then the Lord is ready to help. But we are not ready to take His help, because we always calculate the way we want, that is protection. Protection does not mean that I want some way the protection should come. We don't know really how protection comes. Today I may be thinking I am very safe, but next moment I may have an accident, I may die. So when there is some accident and you are lying in the house, maybe you are saved from some other danger. Tomorrow we would have had some big danger, we are saved. So little problems God gives us so that we are saved from bigger problems by our karma. We have to suffer more. But God has given us small suffering and He has helped me to come out of it. That's how a devotee feels. That's why we have to have more purity. Purity, a devotee never blames the Lord for his sufferings, because he knows he is suffering by his own actions. So God, we create our own actions and reactions, but people who are coming for material things, they are not getting exactly what he is supposed to be getting from the Lord. Because we get into a kind of mood that God has to give me all this, otherwise He is not the Lord, He is not God. So this is not the way we have to be thinking about God consciousness. In the chapter of Bhagavatam, the protection of devotees in connection with Krishna, he and his devotees. There are instances of devotees giving up their families. Devotees in Vrindavan or some other devotees, they are more attached to the Lord. Like Sudama Vipra, he was attached to the Lord, although they were in poverty-stricken condition. He was actually always thinking about the Lord. The Lord will protect him. He was not after earning money. So they are criticized that the devotees of the Lord, they are not well off, or if they are well off also, they don't care for their families. So the explanation of this is there in the Bhagavatam, that how devotees, they do all their duties properly. They are not escapists, but they are not attached to the fruits of their actions. They accept whatever suffering is coming. Like even the gopis, people see the characteristics of gopis as lustful. But if you see in the Bhagavatam, when the gopis are speaking to Krishna, Krishna is advising to them to be chaste and how they have to take care of their families. And the Krishna advice should be taken seriously. Until they are like Krishna's personal associates. You see, who can claim themselves to be a Krishna associate? They have to be authorized. Any Krishna associate or the Lord himself coming, they have a real business. Like Lord Varaha, he came to save the earth planet. So there are devotees who come and they are put into trouble just for the service of the Lord. We cannot imitate them. There are people who may say, I am God, and they engage in Ras Leela. in the whole of Ras Leela chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no explanation of having a lusty affair. There was no pregnancy nor a lusty exchange. Because amidst of anything connected to Krishna, the Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. He was a lifetime brahmachari, a celibate. He was practicing celibacy. He had realized Brahman. After that, he became a devotee by hearing from his father. Such a realized person, but he is speaking Ras Leela. So, what is this Ras Leela? It is not material, it is spiritual. And nobody can imitate it. And if somebody tells that I am Krishna, only a fool will accept anybody who says I am Krishna. That's why they don't read books, they have to read books. If they don't read books, they have their own authority of understanding knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that the Brahma Jyoti, the glowing effulgence, it is actually resting on the Supreme Lord. The effulgence, just like there is a light, means there is a light coming out. The effulgence is coming out from the light. Similarly, when the Lord is lying, from his body the Brahma Jyoti is coming out. So we know that how this light of the Lord, he is not an ordinary person. We have to learn from Vedas, from the Bhagavatam. And when somebody becomes a mother of the Supreme Lord in this world, they are not ordinary people. But there also it appears that they are put into suffering. Actually, when the devotees come, they come for performing the Leelas to assist the Lord's pastimes. We see Devaki, she was put into prison by her own brother. You feel like God is their God's mother, father. He is not, they are put into trouble. What God will save us? So they actually come, they never complain that because they have prayed for Krishna to become their son, Devaki and Vasudeva. In their previous lives also, in 3 incarnations, the Lord agreed to become their son. So they were father and mother in their previous lives also. And here when they came, they were put into trouble, lot of trouble. And not only his mother, because they were put in jail. Krishna's all the elder brothers except Balaram, they were all killed. It's like but Krishna escaped from the child slaughter. And when we know all these things, how the Lord is being protecting his devotees, the devotees who are participating in it, they are enjoying that flavor, that rasa, that affection. So Krishna coming, there is a purpose. So any incarnation coming, there is a purpose. And the Lord actually saves the devotees. We see that in Bhagavatam, how he is one of the greatest devotees, Pandavas. They were put into so many sufferings. His father, mother were put into sufferings. You can see what kind of God you are having. Anybody connected to him, they are suffering. For us, it appears to be like suffering. Like Bhima, he was actually given some poison in the childhood, and by the Lord's mercy, he was saved. And it is mentioned how they were saved. They were put into trouble by Duryodhana and party due to the kingdom, and each and every time the sons of Kunti were saved by the Lord. Each and every time the Lord was there to protect them. And there was Draupadi was dragged out and she was attempted to be insulted in front of everybody within the very cultureless kind of people in front of them. But the Lord saved Draupadi by supplying immeasurable length of cloth. And Duryodhana's party could not insult her in that way. Similarly, they were exiled in the forest, and that time there were some man-eater demons, and then there also the Lord protected Bhima. And it was not finished there. After all these tribulations, there was a battle of Kurukshetra. And they had a great battle with so many people. Here it is mentioned, great generals like Drona, Bhishma, Karna. They were all powerful fighters. And at last, even when everything was done, after that there was a Brahmastra released by Dronacharya's son, Ashwatthama, within the womb of Uttara. And there also, you see, person who is not come out also from the mother's womb, there are enemies already created. That is the nature of this world. They are waiting, when this fellow will come out, I will kill him. But here, fortunately, the Lord actually is protecting. And it is the prayers of Kunti. She prays actually a very nice shloka. We generally think that, oh, now somebody is in difficulty, so they have to go to God and they will pray, please get me out of the difficulties. But the nature of the devotees is, they are asking Vipadaha. There were so many calamities, there are so many difficulties, and all that, O Jagat Guru, O Krishna, please give it again and again. Why I require again and again? I wish that all those calamities, what and all happened, she is saying that how they were poisoned, they are put into great fire, and they are put into suffering in the forest. All this kind of suffering, O Krishna, you please let it happen again and again. Why again and again? If you pray to Krishna, it really happens. Sometimes superficially we may say, no, I don't want anything. But really, if everything is taken away from that, then we cry. So we cannot artificially imitate great devotees. But they are actually always ready to help us. And they are enjoying it. Why they are repeating, asking, please give me suffering? Because then if it happens again and again, we can see you again and again. Because whenever there was suffering, the Lord was personally there with them, with the Pandavas. That means, when you can see the Lord, whatever suffering you are going through in this life, that is the last life. You don't have to go through again and again that sufferings in the next life. Here in this life, when you go through, you can see the Lord face to face. Or you can experience the Lord's protection. So generally, the distressed, the needy, the intelligent, they are all called Sukritina. People who go to God, not that is bad, that is very good. And they worship. But if their desire doesn't get fulfilled, they go away. If it gets fulfilled also, they go away, they don't come back to God, but at least they are grateful about God. They are little more higher. But in this material world, it is filled with calamities. So the Lord comes in His incarnation and He helps us, He gives us guidance. The less intelligent persons prepare plans to adjust to those calamities without knowing that the nature of this place is itself full of calamities. Sometimes people ask, when will these problems get over? Actually, one day some problems have got over because it is severely, we can see that it is disturbing our day-to-day activities. That's why people say, right now we are suffering. As though there was no suffering. Few years back, there was more suffering. People who are going through it, they were suffering. Other people, they don't even know that they are in suffering because it is stopping their day-to-day activities and sense gratification. people are more worried. But calamities are there, one after one. We'll keep on getting some problems. And there are so many unavoidable misfortunes. Unavoidable. So, one thing is we have to practice sattvic life to reduce those material problems. At the same time, we should make progress in spiritual realization. That is the purpose of life. We should have spiritual realization because it's the mission of our human life. The spirit soul is transcendental. So all our material calamities, whatever we are going through, they are all false. It will end one day. Like it is mentioned, suppose you have a dream, and in this dream you see wonderful things happening. You are very successful in your dream, and we are praying in the dream, "Oh God, please give me, I should win in this match," and you are winning that match. Then you are doing business in the dream, and you are praying in the dream, "My Lord, in my dream I should get 10 crores of rupees or millions of rupees." Okay, that is also sanctioned. Oh, you became a crorepati, you became a billionaire. You have so much of money now. And you have achieved so many things in your, whatever you have tried to, you wanted, everything you have achieved in your life. You are dreaming, and in the dream you have achieved, you are very powerful, you are very healthy. Whatever you want, you have a lot of friends. And next day morning somebody will wake you up. "Get up, sir." And all our problems are there only. When we slept with lot of anxiety, tomorrow what will happen in my life? I have to earn money, I should have a good business, my education, I should do it well. Wherever our problems were there, it is remaining there only. So in this material world, it is like that. If you try to achieve maximum success in this world, the maximum success means that you have to know that this success is a temporary success. It's like a dream. What is the use of a dream? In one life I become a very successful person and I don't realize, like it is said in the Bible also, what is the use? You gain the whole world, but you lose in the self. Something like that the statement is. So you are suffering. You don't know what are you doing, but externally you are a very successful person. But without understanding our identity, without knowing the Lord, we are super failure. A man may see a tiger following in a dream and he may cry for this calamity. Sometimes in a dream, somebody they will see some nightmares, there is some accident in the dream and they get up with a lot of sweat on their face because they are really feeling that pain. There is a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension is there. Children wake up, elders wake up, we all get some kind of bad dream sometimes. It pains. Like we suddenly see some of our closest friends or relatives, they have passed away. Or we have something has affected us, we are going in a vehicle and suddenly some accident has happened. We wake up like that in fear. But it's only a nightmare. We are all right there. So whether it is in success or failure, a dream is a dream. So if someone is lucky to get in contact with the Lord by devotional service, that is all gain. It's all gain. So contact with the Lord by any one of the 9 devotional service is always a forward step on the path of going back to Godhead. So these incarnations of the Lord, they come for a purpose. In the Kali Yuga, when they come, they have come as the holy name. And when we chant the holy name, the purpose is Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. It has come from the heavenly, from the supreme Vaikuntha Loka, not from the material heaven. It has come from the Vaikuntha Loka. And from that Vaikuntha Loka, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. Although it has come from Vaikuntha, but I have no rati, I have no taste for it. So in this material world, when we get the highest benefit of Krishna Bhakti, we should recognize it. We should not lose it. The Lord has come very mercifully. Ordinarily we will not get this. People are suffering in this world because they have to earn it. If you require something in this world, you have to earn it. It will not come just like that. But spirituality means you are first being given something. You are not earning spirituality. Spirituality is given by the mercy of the spiritual master. We have to do our duty properly to execute the devotional service, not like a business. If you are a laborer, you can count. I worked for 2 days, so I require this much money. You get that. That is law of karma. But in spirituality, you may work for 1 hour or 24 hours. You are not asking what I am getting. We are seeing what the Lord is getting. The Lord also wants to see like that, what the devotee, he is waiting for me, I have to give so much for him. That is devotional service. Ritualistic ceremonies means we do a lot of rituals and we consider that is also spiritual, but that is not spiritual. So the reality of incarnations coming or devotion is that we should develop freedom from fear, because fear is the nature of this material world. And when you are taking to spiritual life, you should get freedom from fear, freedom from frustration. You may claim yourself to be a transcendentalist. Transcendental means you have to transcend. If you are still on the bodily platform, too much of attachment to any material things, too much of attachment to your results, and you are too much of worried, and small things can disturb in your life, too much attached to your position, nobody should touch you. But the nature of the world is different. By devotional service, you come out of all these material designations. So even though we may be externally be suffering, we should have internal satisfaction. You don't need to take salary from the Supreme Lord. He is giving you unlimited treasure. It's a treasure house. In the Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita and Vedic literatures, they mention how the devotees have Daivi Sampat. They have a lot of wealth, and that is transcendental wealth, which is filled with happiness. The material wealth, what we are earning, it has an expiry date. When this body has an expiry date, that day, whatever possession you are having, you will lose it. One day you will lose it. Even your big certifications from your universities, your bank bond papers, maybe some insurance if you are having, your next generation may get. But you will not get anything. You have to go to the next body based on your law of karma. But for devotional service, there is no expiry date. So you should not ask salary, then it will come under law of karma. So a devotee should gain this Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya. When you are having Daivi Sampat, that wealth, spiritual wealth, it will bring you out of bondage. Here in this world, if they have money, even charity, You are hearing about one big businessman who started charity, and he invested even on business, on medicines. And he was, we don't know how true, but they say that he was involved in creating diseases to create his business for medicines. So this whole world, very complicated. The medicines are made first only, and then disease is created. For that medicine is already kept ready. That is the nature of this world. So we should not want to be in this world. The incarnations of the Lord, they are coming to remind us that this is a dangerous world, and they are showing us a path. Please come to me. So the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are welcoming, please come to me. They are welcoming to the spiritual world, where everything is in the platform of bliss, knowledge and eternity. So this is the verse from Bhagavatam. So we'll hear more in the next classes. Stop here. Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam.